Hey YouTube friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to do an end of the year review for my kindergarten student. There's going to be some mix here of what we used as a group for my pre-K 3-year-old and my first grader. I'll let you know what that is when we get to it. So it looks like there's a ton of things here, but I wanted to show you what worked and what didn't work for us and how we might change things for the coming year. So I'm going to start with math. For math, we decided to go with life packs. It worked out pretty well at the beginning of the year. This is book 2. I don't have book 1 to show you anymore, but this is book 2, and we did not get to book 2. But it's pretty much a continuation of book 1 with the learning. I really liked it. My daughter really liked it at first as well. She's not the type of learner who does well with pen and paper, pencil and paper, things like that. So this was a little bit too much. I didn't want to ask too much of her, and this just seemed to be too much for her to handle. So we decided to change things up for her for math. But if you are interested, here's just a quick look inside the book. We are going to keep this program because I think she would like the information in here, and it's a great learning resource. Just for her this year, it wasn't the type of learning style that fit her needs. So what we decided to do instead after book 1 was to switch things up. So what I did was I got a bunch of flashcards, and we used these for number recognition. This is in this flashcard. Oh, I guess I only did 1 to 20 here because I also use this for my preschooler. So I did flashcards like this, and we just go through them for number recognition. We did a lot of reading. We love these books for math concepts. These are the Math Start books. Missing Mittens she loved, Double the Ducks, and Everybody Counts. And we have quite a few of these. So I'll just give you a peek through for Double the Ducks. So it has number recognition, and there's a cute story that goes along, and it's very visual. My daughter is a visual learner, so this really helps with that. Everybody Counts is sort of the same thing. She's counting different things in her life, and very visual. This was great for my preschooler too. Missing Mittens kind of goes along the same way. This is actually like counting by twos. Also, it teaches that. But at a bare minimum, it's teaching counting. And this was really great book. So we also used the Kumon numbers 1 through 30. This was just like practicing, getting ready to practice learning how to write numbers. So we're struggling with righty-lefty because she does cross over midline. And she does see an OT that works on her with this, but coming from school, we were told that she was a lefty, and so we tried to just figure that out because at home she was both a righty and a lefty, and so we were just trying to figure out, is it because someone is placing the pencil in her hand always with the left, or is she picking up left and right, and just figuring out how her brain's working with that. So this was good for that. So we also do this math interactive notebook. So this is like you can go through this like twice in a year or even 3 times. So this was really fun for her. And this is, I got these downloads on Teachers Pay Teachers. So it's just a notebook, and then there's a number, and then number activities you do that's very interactive. So this is what we decided to go with for math. And then there's some things that she still has to paste for her second book. But you can go through 2 of these a year. It just really helps with getting them to understand numbers and how to write the numbers if your child struggles. So that's what we did for math. We also did a lot of games with manipulatives, and we got math learning at addition, subtraction in that way. So that was very helpful. So next we are going to do language arts. So I think I mentioned in my other video that for her, we started language arts with logic of English, and the concepts were a little bit too difficult for her to grasp. And while they were fun, the games, the hands-on things were, well, she had to write pen to paper. Drawing lines to things was fine, but like the handwriting wasn't working out. And so we decided to just step back and take things easy. So we did these Explode the Code books. These are new ones. These are going to be for my pre-K child, but I just want to show you what we used. So this is Get Ready for the Code A, B, and C. So this is just phonics, but these were fun for her to do because she could use a marker, do-a-dots, and it wasn't, there was some hand trace, number tracing, letter tracing, I should say, that was difficult for her, and it was also lowercase letters. And when we're doing handwriting without tears, it's all uppercase. So it was a little challenging going from uppercase to lowercase. But other than that, she loved it because it wasn't too much writing. And we could do hand over hand on a lot of things. And she could use do-a-dot, she used markers, crayons, and she loved it. And she was able to get through this happily. And it wasn't a struggle. So that made her happy, and it made me especially happy. So book B kind of does the same. There's more writing in the books 1, 2, and 3 and things like that. So I definitely wanted her to start with these more fun books. And of course, this comes with the teacher's guide. And I use just sparingly with her, but you can kind of just look. There are times when you do need it though. For example, I don't know if I can find it here. There are some pages where you need it, where you read a sentence and then it's like a riddle. You tell the student, I'm thinking of something, and the teacher's book will actually give you the sentence to describe the item to the child, and then they have to look in their book and say what it is. So for that reason, definitely you need the teacher's manual for that. So the other thing we did with her was letter names. She knows all her letter names. She knows, she can recognize them all. She knows some of her letter sounds. So we did flashcards she did these with her brother. She liked doing these. So these are just the letter names. She knows all of them. And then these were the letter sounds we used. These flashcards I think I got in a package with something I bought at Costco. I can't remember. But then we used the lowercase for letter sounds. And she knows the majority of all her letter sounds. Pretty much all the first sounds for sure she knows. So we used that. And then for reading, we did these Hooked on Phonics books. So she got through level 1 and level 2 wonderfully. When we got to the word families level, it became a little bit boring for her. But so I'll show you what level 1 is like. It does say pre-K, but honestly she only learned how to read 3-letter words in coming from a public school. So she needed help in reading. So basically for this, the reason why she found this to be so much fun is because she's drawing lines to things, she's coloring, and it's just really fun and interactive, like it should be for the age group. So uppercase, lowercase. So this one I believe is the uppercase book. Yeah, so this is all uppercase. And then the second book is lowercase. Some of the same activities. Oh, it's uppercase and lowercase, so it has both. the uppercase and lowercase. So she loved these. They weren't difficult to get through because she really, really loved them. They had these fun little cards that you play games with. You do matching sounds, you do rhyming, and it has uppercase and lowercase. So she loved this, and it was really easy to get through, and she learned a lot. And of course it comes with the CDs that you watch. So this was great. But by the time we got to this level, this is pretty boring. You watch the DVD, which she liked, but then this is just reading. There's really no activity in here whatsoever. So this isn't something she enjoyed because she wanted to color. She wanted to do kind of the same stuff. So this was kind of tedious for the both of us. But she learned the words. So it's okay. We definitely won't be using any more Hooked on Phonics. We're going to switch things up for next year. It also came with readers, and the Red Level books did too. Came with readers. What I also ended up adding for her were these printables that I got from Teachers Pay Teachers, or whatever I found that was free. Just these things to get her thinking. So she'd draw a picture. We'd read the sentence together, and then she'd draw a picture, and then we did things cutting and pasting to line up the story. And then we did a ton of these for different shapes, numbers, things like that. We also did Alphabet Interactive Notebook. Okay, and again, you can go through 2 of these for the year because you can do them pretty quickly. But this was another hands-on thing that was great for her. And we still have to finish this one. Like I said, you can go through 2 of these, even 3 of these, depending on how much your child wants to do. And this was Teachers Pay Teachers as well. So just something like that. So cutting skills, still practicing handwriting and things like that. But we did do, we're going to continue with this book too, so we'll have a nice little collection of these books. But this was great for her. And we also did the Kindergarten Handwriting Without Tears. This is actually her second book. The first book she went through very quickly, so I smartened up and decided that I would just make copies of the letters that we were on. So when we were on D, I would make a copy of it. So we do 5 days of a letter, 5 days of a number to get her practicing her writing. And then on the 5th day, she could put it in the book. But she decided she didn't want to put it in the book. So we just did the loose leaf worksheets. And this one came from, I believe, a Teacher Pay Teacher website as well, this printable. So I just matched up a letter, a number per day during the week. So that's pretty much what we did for her language arts and her math, reading. Okay, so I wanted to share what we did as a group. Also, I don't think I put this in my first graders video, but I wanted to add it here. So what we also did was we did vocabulary, and we used Wordly Wise for kindergarten. So Wordly Wise basically is vocabulary. There's a story. For this age group, it's really a lot of fun, and I did a video on this at the beginning of our school year, but I just wanted to show you what how we set it up. So there is, let's see, 25, it's like 25 weeks worth, and there is, how many lessons? Let's see how many lessons are here. I'll tell you. Okay, so there's 12 lessons, 25 weeks worth. So basically, every week you do 5 words for the vocabulary. So 2 weeks is 1 lesson. So week 1, lesson 1, week 2, lesson 1. That's how it's set up. And I did it this way because it was so much easier to put all our vocabulary cards in here and just get the ones that we needed for that week instead of going through the whole pile searching for them. It really made my life so much easier. So basically, There's a story. There's a story in here, and then the vocabulary words. I won't bore you showing this. I think I already showed this in another video. So that's the teacher's edition. I don't have her workbook because that's done, but this is one that I got for my preschool son when he was really too young for this. But I have one for when he's ready. Oh, I didn't grab his. I guess he did some. Interesting. Okay, so basically this is the workbook, and here there's different activities that they do. I didn't realize he had done one. So as you're reading along in the book, they're looking at the story, and then they're going to sequence the story here, there, and then they color. So here's an example of sequencing and then coloring. My preschooler must have done this. So in the back, there's things you cut out, and every story goes along with vocabulary words. You cut out the pictures, and then they sequence. They draw, they color, they circle. It's really easy for them to do. My first grader also did this, and it was fun for her and enjoyable. And it's really great to get vocabulary in. So we did that as a group. We also did My America and My World, the social studies, and history and geography. I don't have the K5 Abeka social studies book, but that had worksheets in it that the kids did. These are just the visuals that go along with the different material. And this was really fun. And again, something we can do as a whole group, and very easy to implement. So we enjoyed that. What we also did for art was we did Ivy Kids. And I just have one of our last boxes here that I was going to show some of the activities. But we decided to do Ivy Kids. We continued on with that. I think I showed a video of it earlier in the year, but I didn't go too in depth. I wanted to, but I just didn't have the time to show. For example, I have some examples of some books that we used for it. There was a box that came for ladybugs, and different kinds of activities that you do with ladybugs, painting, coloring, crafting, all sorts of things. Then there was one with different types of animals from Australia. There's koala, there's kangaroo, all different ones. And here they're learning about numbers also. There was one about octopus and different crafts and activities that they learn about octopus and how they protect themselves from predators, and some experiments to do with that. There was one about space, and they used this book. It's really cute. So every book kind of comes with, these are two other books, Elmer and Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. There's some other books, and they come with like these little pamphlets to just comprehension questions for the kids. And let's see here. So just for an example, I brought up a couple of crafts. I don't know whose this one belongs to, but so you do like a mobile like this, and we hang it up in the classroom during the time when we're doing these sorts of crafts. So that's kind of cute. They did, when we did the apple picking book, I forget which one that is, but they do like a little wooden craft. For the space, there's a bunch of these little space boards that came with the craft. I mean, a lot more came with the craft, but I'm just showing you some examples of things I had out. And then this came with, let's see here, these little game pieces, the astronauts and their rockets. So that was fun. And they do things like put the numbers and letters and stick them onto a tree for Chicka Chicka. We did one on nocturnal animals, and that's just an example. They colored owls. They got a ceramic craft in the mail. We did these flying bats for nocturnal animals. Just another sheet. And they also did things like this tree for Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. There's some sticky bees. They're really cute. The box that I got is for siblings as well. So there's 3 kids for my house. There are 3 kids, so they have all the materials that you need for all 3 children to participate and to do all the crafts. So that was really awesome. And I'll show you what's in our last box. We haven't finished this one. And there's some more books that I'm not showing you here. I just grabbed whatever I could find for this video. So we're still working on this box. So here is the rainforest. And of course I forgot to bring the book for this. But for this one, this is all the crafts that come in here. They already painted the snakes. They made their rain stick. And this is the book, The Rainforest Grew All Around. They already explored their kapok pod. It's a kapok tree pod. They explored that. These are the things we're going to use next. We got to put some soil in here and then put the seeds in. I get to do this. So basically, there's some science too. Sorry, this is so unorganized. Here. That was the wooden snake. Here's the soil. So you get everything you need for what you're doing. So this is the soil that you're going to use inside here. That's pretty cool. So this is the sort of thing you get. So this is very creative, and I don't have to come up with anything. It's all right here laid out. Some stickers, and it just makes art, science come alive for the kids, and it's fun, and every month it's something different. We haven't gotten to these, but this is for Rainforest Bingo. So you get the idea. So this was definitely worth it for me to have this come to the door every month. We honestly we didn't get to all the activities in one month. So some of the boxes I opened up like 2 or 3 months later, and then we do them as we can, and they just last for a long time. And this is another craft, I think a scratch craft that they're gonna do, scratch art. So they're gonna do that next week. So that is what we did for art with a little science mixed in. We also did that at Becca that I showed in my other video for science. So we also did for my kindergartner, we also did, what did we do? Now I can't think of the name of the book. She did some journaling too, but not very much. We had to do, I would write down the sentence and then she would just trace it with a pencil. She did a good job. This was not easy for her, so she did a really good job. And more in there. Yeah, so we did that. We did 5 in a row as well. I forgot to bring up the book, but I did that with all the kids. Before 5 in a row is what we did with all the kids. We did 5 in a row for my oldest. It just wasn't as much fun, and the books were kind of long and kind of deep for her, and so we just wanted to keep things light, and so we did before 5 in a row. We did get some craft ideas from like Pinterest to go along with some of the books and things, but honestly you really don't need it. Just reading the books, the kids are fine with it. They don't need so much interaction with everything, but I did do some little crafts. I forget which one these are for, but we did some crafts like that, and you can find these on Pinterest, on YouTube. This is like a game that went with the yellow ball, just some things that they could color in, and we just did a little craft. I decided to change up this, I forget why I changed this craft up, but it was like catch and throw, high and low with the yellow ball. I changed it a little bit. You're supposed to have string or something, but I didn't do that. But they liked it anyway. So yeah, so that is pretty much everything, you guys. I'm sorry this video is super long. Trying to keep it informative but quick at the same time. So that's it. So next year we're going to switch quite a few things up, and those videos are going to be coming out soon. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.